Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Late Night Games. I'm your host, Paul, and tonight, as long as nothing else goes horribly wrong this time, we are once again playing Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords. The reason I say as long as nothing else horribly goes wrong, last time we recorded, my computer went kaput. Then I tried again, and my video crashed. And needless to say, we've been fraught with various recording issues, then life, and, well, I just think it's the game's way of kicking me in the nuts for getting so excited about my lightsaber now that I finally have it. Anyways.
Yes?
We were gonna try and, fight naked again. So, you think you can teach me some fighting moves?
Training is something reserved for certain caste members of the Echani, but I do not see the harm in instructing you in some basic principles. I do not understand how you and Haitus fight, but I will instruct you on how Echani children are raised on warfare.
This seems like as good a place as any to begin.
All Echani fighting principles rely on foundations. If one does not understand the most basic of fighting moves, it is not possible to understand the higher tiers. It is similar to learning the alphabet of a language before being able to use words, then sentences.
Very wise. I understand. I'm ready.
As a foundation, I will instruct you in our elementary movements. The body itself is the first weapon you must master. It is not something that can be described. Let us duel, you and I, and that shall teach you more than my words can. Use only your hands and feet to strike at me, nothing else, or our combat shall be over. Do not resort to using any items or any force techniques you may possess. Such things will obstruct learning.
Alright, no force powers, weapons, or items. Got it.
Very well. I shall match my movements to resist your efforts, and do not hold back, or I will hurt you.
Alright. Do I want to go with just basic attacks, power attacks, rapid attacks, or critical strikes? Since I'm going unarmed, I don't have the advantage to critical strike that I normally would with my weapons, so I'm going to go with flurry attacks. A flurry, then a power, then 2 flurries. Ooh, look at that flurry of blows. And then a power attack, another flurry. It's like watching fighters in the Matrix. Doing all these flips and shit. And you know what, this time I'm actually doing better. I think last time I focused on the critical strikes, forgetting that it's my weapons that let me hit so often with critical strikes, because they all have bonuses to crit. Yeah!
You fought well indeed. You have caught the principles of the style by watching and anticipating my movements. I now have a favor to ask you.
Haha! Babe, you see my Matrix styles and you want a favor? What's the favor?
The weapon the Jedi use, the Force, I would like to know more about it.
What do you want to know?
It is not something you can see or fight, yet the Jedi use it and struggle with it their entire lives.
It's a difficult thing to describe.
Please, I wish to know.
Imagine awakening and hearing the heartbeat of the galaxy for the first time.
I see. Thank you, Exile. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge with me.
It was my pleasure. If you have any further questions in the future, seek me out and ask them. I have gained influence with the Handmaiden. I think it's time for us to put clothes back on. No, clothes. There we go. First, let's go with the Mandalorian melee shield, or, yeah, because I have the ability to deflect energy attacks. And I will go with... Which one did I have? Does not restrict use of force powers. That's what I had. And of course, in my hand, lightsaber. 10 to 28 plus 26. Yeah, I'm back, babe. Alright, so let's get back to the bridge and find out where to go from here. We've done enough work with the handmaiden now. We've gotten her happy. I was really hoping that by talking to her...
General?
What are you doing?
Just working on the ship. I'm not sure who got her up and running, but I'm amazed she's even space-worthy. Whoever made these repairs doesn't think like most mechanics. But don't worry, I'll get everything in shape.
So, as I was saying, I was really hoping that that would give me like a bonus to attack or a bonus to damage, but all it did was give me handmaiden influence and let me describe the Force to her.
My life for yours.
How did you find me?
I felt you, heard you through the Force. It was like a sound at the edge of hearing. And when I heard it, I found I could not ignore it.
Who sent you?
I serve my master. I am an emissary, a scout. My master was aware of a disturbance in the Force, but was unaware of its nature, of you. The disturbance is not something one feels from a living thing. There is little my master does not know. And that you eluded his sight for so long is significant. But I do not know why.
I need to know where I can find your master.
You cannot. His vessel roams the borders of known space, and even I do not know where he travels. Until he calls for me. Even if I could lead you to my master, I cannot permit you to find him until you are ready.
Ready?
If I bring you before my master, untested, without your potential realized, then you will be lost to me, and I cannot allow that to happen. It would be as if one brought fire to a paradise valley, shattered a cavern of rare crystal, or blinded a painter.
My life is unimportant. Your master threatens more than just me.
I cannot, I will not. I would die first, and gladly, to preserve you, untouched, unharmed. Now that I have found you, I cannot sacrifice what I have found.
If he is behind what has befallen the Jedi, then he must be stopped.
You will meet my master. It is inevitable. I have seen it. And when you stand before him and realize what you face, you must be prepared. Until then, I must protect you, help you, until you are ready.
Why are you doing this for me? I mean, a few minutes ago you were trying to kill me.
There's a greatness in you. A greatness that does not stem from the Force. It stems from who you are. And if my master does not understand you, cannot see you, then perhaps there is hope for us all. But if you seek to survive, then you must understand why this is so.
If your master had trouble detecting me, how were you able to do it?
There is much I see my master cannot. I fear it is because of my nature, the nature of my race. My people spend their lives seeing the galaxy, the energy streaming off stars, the growth of life, all things touched by the Force.
Where are your people now? Your world?
It is not a subject which I have spoken of since its destruction.
I've seen similar acts of destruction at Malachor.
I've heard tales of Malachor. It is said that many of my people felt the end of the Mandalorian Wars from across the galaxy. But do not mistake me. I did not mean to draw comparisons between KOTOR and Malachor. My homeworld still exists. It is intact.
How was it destroyed?
The planet was not destroyed. It remains. It orbits, dead in space. But nothing lives on its surface. It echoes, but there's no one left to hear it.
Never mind. I'll be going now.
Forgive me, but before you go, I must ask. Why do you do this? Why do you seek to help me? Teach me.
Because I believe you can be saved.
You must not do this. I cannot allow you to weaken yourself for me.
To help another is not weakness. It is strength to them both.
So you say. But it is not something I have observed or seen.
What do you mean?
I remember little of my homeworld before I entered my master's service. It is not as it was. There is little left of such memories. Or the planet itself.
We've spoken enough. I must go.
Very well. Perhaps we shall speak more of this at another time. But know this. I cannot allow you to weaken yourself for me.
Light side points gained and influence with Visus gained. I like being... No, I don't want to leave the ship. Where am I going? Where am I... Damage HK unit. I've got more stuff for you. Install the droid's processor.
Diagnostic. HK-47 activated. Running checks through primary systems. Assessment. It appears I have suffered considerable damage and dismemberment. I can feel all the cracks in my motivators. And my central control cluster seems to have taken several repeated blaster shots at close range. How crude.
Why were you in our storage hold?
Answer. I do not know, Master. It is curious that I was here, although this place does seem familiar. Extrapolation. Perhaps someone was already in the process of rebuilding me. It may be I was needed for some task.
You look a lot like a series of droids that have attacked me.
Answer. Oh, that is impossible, Master. If I were out to kill you, we would not be speaking. And regardless, I am a unique model. Why, to think that there would be other versions of me would be unacceptable.
Well, at least there's 4 other defunct versions of you in the galaxy.
Statement. Master, I must inform you that your attempts at humor are wasted on a droid such as I. As I have expressed, I am unique.
Actually, there's a series of HK-50 units sharing your model and function that we have encountered on multiple occasions.
Resignation. Very well, Master. If you persist in your attempts at humor, I shall indulge you. Let me check the ship's records, and we will settle this matter once and for all. Conclusion. You speak the truth. This discovery is also causing me some degree of anger and humiliation.
Are you alright?
Mockery. Am I all right? Oh, yes, Master. Why, I am fine. Statement. I've only just been reactivated, only to find that there are substandard duplicates of me running all over the galaxy, corroding my good name. But if they are, in fact, hunting you, then I look forward to the opportunity to meet these units and educate them in proper assassination protocols. Conclusion. So it seems I need you, for the time being.
You're an assassin droid.
Recitation. Yes, as I said, I am an assassin droid. It is my primary function to burn holes through meat bags that you wish removed from the galaxy. Master, oh, how I hate that term.
What? Meatbag?
Answer. No, Master. I said it again.
Well, get used to it.
Answer. Yes, Master.
You're not killing anyone unless in self-defense. Even then, I don't want you acting without my orders.
Answer. Yes, Master. HK-47 is ready to serve.
His few remaining assassination protocols allow him to do more damage to opponents with blasters and rifles. Nice. And I now have a HK-47 droid.
Master, I must express some degree of concern. As I have studied your actions, looking for potential vulnerabilities to exploit, I have found several.
vulnerabilities?
Statement. You seem disposed to helping others, not harming them, as I've come to expect and anticipate from organic meatbags across the galaxy.
Why are you studying me for vulnerabilities?
Statement. Master, it is nothing personal, but professional pride dictates that I keep a running tally on any potential weaknesses in my masters. And of course, the weaknesses of any other sentient meatbags, droids, or other targets who are in service to my master.
If you're planning you look for weakness to protect me?
Hypothetical. Master, it is entirely possible that one day you may no longer be my master, and that my new master might get jealous of our prior relationship. It has happened before. As a result, I have a responsibility to know your weaknesses should I be required to assassinate you.
You don't have to call me master.
Statement. Oh, I am aware of that, Master. I simply use it to give you the illusion of control and obedience. Humans often need such comforts until the end comes.
I had some questions. I don't feel like bantering back and forth with a robot right now.
Statement. You wish to conduct an interrogation? Very well. Proceed.
It's not an interrogation. Just wanted to ask you some questions.
Statement. Very well, Master. But if you wish to be brutal and vicious about it, know that I am trained for such things. Do your worst.
Enough with the interrogation already. When I ask you questions, I mean I will ask questions without torturing you.
Statement. Master, I am no behavior droid, but it is obvious to me that you have serious ethical problems that will need to be treated at some point. Very well. Ask your questions. If you feel the need to make it an interrogation, however, do not restrain yourself. I would be saddened if you held back.
Do you know anything about the Sith hunting us?
Answer. No, Master, I do not. I am afraid I have been out of touch with the Sith for many years. This new Sith threat fights differently than the ones I was familiar with. These seem to favor stealth and assassination to achieve their ends.
Any idea where they might be striking from?
Answer. No, Master. The Sith had many hidden bases and strongholds before and during the Jedi Civil War, and I doubt the Republic found them all. Theory. It is possible that the Sith still hold one such base, if not several. Consolation. But I would not worry, Master. I imagine it will not be long before their murderous hands try to seize you by the throat. Twi'lek metaphor.
Yeah, well, Krek beetles are a lot smaller than our enemies.
Query. Master, excuse me. One thing I have noticed as we travel the galaxy, you seem to possess the ability to understand a variety of alien languages. Forgive me, but that does not seem in keeping with my assessment of your talents.
I picked up a sonic imprint sensor on Paragus. It doubles as a translator.
Query. May I see it?
Of course, here you go.
Observation. This is indeed familiar. Indeed, it seems to be modeled after my vocabulator, with some modifications, of course. Curious. You say you obtained this device on Paragus?
Yeah, shortly before the planet was destroyed.
Observation. Master, I do believe this device serves multiple functions, including tracking your position for any HK units in the vicinity.
What should we do with it?
Observation. Master, I do believe this device serves multiple functions, including tracking your position. It is sending out a passive carrier wave that signals itself to HK units in the vicinity.
So, then we should destroy it?
Objection. Master, they do not know we have discovered it, which means the advantage is ours. Statement. I suspect when the time is right, this device can be used to pinpoint the location of the HK factory, and we can deal with them once and for all.
So we just wait.
Answer. Master, the nature of the signal from the sonic imprint sensor is such that we must wait until it is signaled. It does not please me any more than it does you, but one of the primary traits of an assassin or assassin droid is patience.
I had some other questions.
Statement. More questions. Wonderful.
You know, off the conversation here, I have to say, I love the voice actor for the HK units. Yeah, their voices are a little irritating with that roboticism to it, but just the sheer level of condescension in their voice is probably one of my favorite character voices in either of the KOTOR games. How did you get scattered all over the galaxy?
Theory. Well, Master, I believe I was shot repeatedly. Once reduced to my component parts, I suspect pieces of me were sold across the galaxy. Statement. I am an extremely valuable piece of equipment after all, Master. My parts were no doubt costly to obtain, and their new owners hesitant to part with them.
It was something of a pain, yes.
I would be most distressed if you were to shoot me, attack me, or dismember me in any way. I do not wish to repeat the experience.
Never mind, buddy. You just stay being ready to assassinate. Well, now I know how those droids keep finding me. That was actually probably one of the most productive conversations I've had in a long frickin' time. There's the handmaiden. Where's the main bridge again? This way, I think. This way? That's security system. There's the main bridge.
Something up?
No, never mind. Alright. So we're done on Dantooine. We have finished up what we need to do there. We can go to Korriban, which is a volcanic planet. Nar Shaddaa. Or Onderon. Let's head to Nar Shaddaa. Up and away! I swear, Atten, if you crash or we get shot down and otherwise stranded on this planet, I'm gonna shank you with my lightsaber in the spleen, motherfucker.
Well, here we are. The Smuggler's Moon. It's the gaping maw of Nal Hutta, swallowing all the cargo and spaceport thugs the galaxy has to offer. Mandalorians, mercenaries, war veterans, and pilots from the Mandalorian Wars and the Jedi Civil War ended up on Nar Shaddaa, from all sides of the conflict. When the last war ended, there was no place left for them to go. Nar Shaddaa's a rough place and easy to get lost in. Or for someone to get lost. If we wanted to keep out of sight from the Sith for a while, you couldn't pick a better spot.
What's Nal Hutta?
It means glorious jewel in Haitus, but don't let that fool you. It's the central breeding grounds of the Hutts. Nar Shaddaa orbits it. Nal Hutta's as slimy as the Hutts. Lots of swamp and bloated gas. It's where those slugs reach out and grab chunks of the galaxy. Trust me, we're not going to go anywhere near the place unless we want to be washing the stink out of our clothes for the next few years.
That bad? I didn't think anything could compel you to bathe.
You spend all day thinking up that joke? Maybe you and Bayodur should start a circus.
I fail to understand the reference, though I doubt your explanation will prove worthwhile.
You sound like you've been here before.
Anyone flying the Star Lanes has docked on Nar Shaddaa at least once. I wouldn't want to live there, and I doubt anyone does by choice.
What's the refugee sector?
Not everyone who came to Nar Shaddaa were soldiers. A lot of worlds were destroyed by the Mandalorians and the Jedi. Left a lot of people wandering the galaxy.
So there's a lot of ex-soldiers?
Yeah. Some came looking for work running freight and cargo. Still, there's only so many ships to go around and so many workers. So others lend their weapons to the Hutts in the exchange. It's become a prime base for raider recruitment across the galaxy.
How hard it would be to find a Jedi here.
It won't be easy. There's so much traffic on Nar Shaddaa. Finding anyone on the moon's surface is going to be hard. We're going to touch down in the refugee sector. There's a lot more traffic there, and it's harder for people to spot you coming in, or find you once you arrive.
Well, then let's take the Ebon Hawk in for a landing.
I've plotted a course for the refugee sector, and we should touch down within the hour. Once we're down, we should finally be able to breathe easy. There's no way anyone's going to find us here.
Except, you know, there's a beacon inside my translator that tells people where I am. Ooh. That's one hell of an entrance. What ship is this?
Perhaps you have heard that the Jedi comes to Nar Shaddaa. While he walks upon the smuggler's moon, he is not to be harmed. You may watch him, observe his movements, but nothing more. You must, because one Jedi attracts others. It is the way of things.
Bomababe want to susitu mukarata. Tu aspecto natada ber mabarchokto. Torenibu inturata sisi meborokra.
Banisukakran, joka mata storch ban locha. Joana masaranka ma ramazurata. Keso juskrita lorsa. Yumacha fuego mikojira.
Loka kamaran endoso ranwi no chabi. Tu rantamana sobu. Febko emareyam ga watasitu insula raka rakachata. Tamaso kinchuda wanka. Mopi unawana si chukoratawa.
Request. If Goto's vessel is no longer neutral ground, inform us so that we might initiate assassination protocols and commence firing at once.
Tahupo boteño go yucho picha. Guentabani sochu. Norotoga proto lalachichi. Jugadosa jibacha. Ratak mansan. Tokosha nachitolo. Joana masaranka ma ramazurata. Keso juskrita lorsa. Yumacha fuego mikojira.
Yeah.
Kawanabota atagwa kankadiwa. Yutaka alwanji umaliba. Tu es mahawika si wawanta mo guika wansoba. Wakama nurawa.
Observation. Jedi follow the self-destructive path of pacifism and tolerance. They will not attack first.
Honto no saka. Jita bedwana maticha. Doveri nincha yonona shitasa chuch. Si machadana. Dona we searcha makaran.
Oh. See, here I was thinking this was just going to foreshadow that my guy thinks he's safe when really he's not, but...
Ah, the beautiful stench and decay of desperate living.
This moon, it teems with life. It is difficult to center oneself.
Never have I been to a place so alive with the Force, yet so dead to it. The contrast is like a blade.
Welcome to Nar Shaddaa. Towering buildings kilometers high and miles deep, with canyons so wide you could have a dogfight in them. Word of warning, watch where you step, or you'll fall for hours.
Are we going to be okay on this landing pad?
Sure. Most of the landing pads around here are unclaimed, or should be. They're pretty badly maintained, so they're not safe to land on. Well, I mean, not this one. But they all have the reputation, so we should be all right. I think.
The Ebon Hawk looks a little exposed.
Maybe a little, but landing here means we didn't have to transmit our ID signature. You know what trouble that always brings. In fact, while we're here, we should get those signatures changed. Wouldn't make us such a target when we enter a new system.
Any problems with the docking authorities?
No, but I forgot to tell them we were landing. The refugee sector's a dead zone. No one cares too much who flies in and out of here as long as they're not carrying cargo that the exchange or the Hutts might want a piece of.
Then let's move on.
Alright then, let's move out. Where are we headed exactly?
It does not matter where we go. If what we seek is here, we shall come upon it in due time.
Yeah, if you want to stay on the ship and meditate some more, don't let us stop you.
I wouldn't mind finding out more about this bounty on Jedi.
Well, that means finding either a bounty hunter, a ranking member of the Exchange, or someone willing to talk, none of which are too appealing. Bounty hunters in the Exchange are going to want to shoot you, and someone who is willing to talk to anyone, which means trouble.
The bounty is a waste of our efforts. All that matters is the Jedi. The intentions of the thugs of this moon are of no consequence.
This bounty poses a threat to him. We do not need two beasts at our back when the Sith are enough.
I agree. They are nothing more than a distraction. But even a distraction may prove fatal at a critical moment. We must protect him.
I do not wish your support, Dark Jedi. Your words only undermine my arguments.
If you are so certain of your path, then do what you will, servant of Atris. It makes no difference.
It's up to you. There's bound to be someone in the sector willing to spill their guts for a credit or two.
Let's see where our path takes us.
Alright, if you have any questions, just ask. We should be able to leave the ship here as long as we want. No one supervises these landing pads anymore.
You there!
Uh-oh.
What's with you? Letting that piece of junk sink its struts into my landing pad!
I'm not gonna force persuade him because his species is immune. The Hutts told me I could land here.
Yeah? Well, this is the first I've heard of it. Hutts don't do business down there. This is exchange territory.
They're doing business down here now. That's all you need to know.
I got a ship that's supposed to dock on this pad any hour now. What am I gonna do?
Divert it to another pad. Yep, totally not using force persuade. I will bring Atten. And I will bring... Oh wow, he is really dark. Everyone else is fairly light except for Kriya, who's still neutral, but she's starting to lighten up a little bit. There's that little faint hint of blue at the bottom. But HK, totally dark. I've already got Atten, who's long range. I will bring Kriya or Handmaiden or Vizes. Vizes is a Jedi. Jedi Sentinel. I'll bring Vizes. Dark side points gained. Oh, because I lied. Right. But that is where we're going to end it off today. So we've done a lot of communication on our ship, and now we have landed on Nar Shaddaa. Tune in next time as we explore this smuggler's planet and see where that all takes us. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time.